So tell us what the bank's new strategy is. We know that they've been a very U.S.-focused bank for many years, but now it appears that they are looking to expand internationally. Tell us what the strategy is.
Yeah, it looks like they've basically come to the realization that if they want to get this bank growing again, they've really got to focus outside the U.S. And that's for various reasons, including largely the U.S. is just saturated for them. They're such a large bank. They did so many acquisitions over the last couple decades, getting them into every corner of the U.S. economy. The room for growth for this bank now is abroad.
And what are the niches they can play in? Obviously, if they go to China or they go to India, these are already bank-saturated markets. They shouldn't be, all things to all people. What are the niches that they can play in each of these foreign regions that maybe play to their strengths, globally and in the U.S.?
Well, first and foremost, I think you got to think of Merrill Lynch and investment banking. They bought Merrill Lynch back in 2008 at the height of the financial crisis. Merrill Lynch had done a very good job expanding abroad. Particularly here in London, they have a real presence. And, B of A had already started to make strides in this area, looking at specific deals like UniCredit, the very high-profile rights issue that the Italian bank did not long ago. B of A was in pole position on that. That's thanks to Merrill. B of A never would have done a deal like that before. That was just this year. Then there was another deal a couple years ago in Russia, the IPO of Rusal, the big mining company. B of A was in, top position in that deal. Again, the old Bank of America based in Charlotte, North Carolina, never would have had anything to do with that. So I think that's the kind of deal that we should expect to see them involved with more.
And how much of this new strategy is dealing with the fact that 5 of the 13 directors of the bank are at least 70 years old? They have a mandatory retirement age of 72 years old. And while they're looking to expand the strategy from your piece, I understand that they're looking for people perhaps with overseas experience. So they're really looking to sort of regenerate and sort of reinvigorate this bank with some younger people. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. It sounds like these are two separate but linked issues. The idea that they need to replenish the board and that they need to expand abroad. I think they're effectively going to sort of try to dovetail the two and find they need new directors anyway, as you point out, and they're going to try to find some who have international experience, open doors internationally. As our story noted, a lot of the other banks like Citigroup, JP Morgan, they're far ahead of B of A in this regard in terms of picking people who are affiliated with the bank, who have connections, deep connections abroad, and who can bring them business, and also potentially more important, who can advise them on how to get into these markets, like you mentioned, China and India. I mean, these are truly foreign markets.